I have never seen a prisoner as disciplined as her, while others have fun during their free time. She does weight training on the side. She dedicates all her free time to training, even going so far as to run in pouring rain. She even impresses the prison guards. The incredible determination of this woman stems from a desire for revenge. Her name is Anna, and she had a loving husband. 6 months ago, they bought a yacht and went on a trip together. But when she wakes up one morning, she finds herself covered in blood. She calls her husband, but he doesn't respond. Anna quickly gets up to look for him, but she discovers bloodstains all over the deck. Her husband is nowhere to be found, and a small knife was left behind her before she could even pick it up. The Coast Guard arrived. Since she was the only one on the boat with her husband, Anna was immediately considered a suspect and taken to the police station. She hires a lawyer to defend herself, but he informs her that her husband had taken out a large insurance policy. Moreover, the police had a recording of her husband reporting the incident. Although he did not mention the culprit, everything seems to accuse Anna of being the murderer before going to prison. She entrusted her son to her best friend and gave her money to raise him. However, when she tried to call her friend later, the number was disconnected. After some effort, Anna finally obtained her friend's new number and angrily confronted her about the situation. Her friend tries to push her away, but Anna insists on speaking to her son. In response, her son unexpectedly called his father. It turned out that Anna's husband was still alive, and he hung up the phone when he realized it was Anna calling. At that moment, Anna understood everything. Not only did they deceive the insurance company to get the payout, but they also took her only son, making her the scapegoat. Since then, Anna has been tormented every day. Selma, a former lawyer, explains to her that the law cannot convict someone twice for the same crime, which means that even if she killed her husband, she would not be sentenced to another penalty. This revelation leads Anna to realize that she must physically prepare herself to one day take revenge on her husband. She actively participates in the rehabilitation program and willingly accepts all the arduous tasks. 8 years pass in the blink of an eye due to her excellent behavior. Anna is granted parole. Her priority now was to find out where he was hiding. She goes to the school where her friend works to inquire, but the principal refuses to provide any information. That night, Anna secretly returns to the school and sneaks into the archives to search for her friend's records. Just as she obtains this information, she is discovered by patrolling police officers. Anna hastily escapes through a window, leading to a breathless chase. Eventually, the police catch her again, and, since she committed another offense while on parole, the police chief is about to send her back to prison. Anna insists on her innocence, but the police chief doesn't believe her, as all prisoners claim the same thing. On the way, he handcuffs Anna inside the car and plans to buy a cup of coffee. However, he forgets to take the car keys, allowing Anna to escape. The woman is handcuffed inside the car, but she notices a garden hose nearby and gets an idea. She starts the car, shifts into reverse, and presses the accelerator, using the hose to loosen the door handle. Unfortunately, she still can't remove it. At that moment, the police chief realizes her attempt and breaks the car window. In a critical moment, Anna presses the accelerator again. Although the police chief manages to get into the car at the last moment, it loses control and plunges into the sea. Everyone on board is stunned, as they are at risk of drowning. The police chief has no choice but to free Anna from her handcuffs. Taking advantage of the situation, Anna grabs her weapon and quickly swims to the surface. The police chief, determined not to let her escape easily. The same goes for when he emerges. Of all, two of water. Anna knocks out the police chief with the butt of the weapon and manages to escape before the other officers arrive. Anna, saved, hitchhikes to get to her mother's house. Upon learning of her daughter's ordeal, her mother digs up a box containing all her savings. She gives the money to Anna for revenge. However, Anna's husband has changed his identity, and she can only find a solution through her best friend. She pretends to buy a car at a dealership, using her friend's social security number to inquire about her credit, and manages to obtain the current address of her friend from the manager, claiming it is a credit check. Anna rushes to the address, but a stranger opens the door. She asks the woman where her best friend is, but the woman knows nothing. It's the elderly neighbor who informs her that her friend died in a car accident 3 years ago. Anna's husband took the insurance money and disappeared with their son to confirm the truth. Anna consults the newspaper articles from that time and verifies her friend's death. However, she still feels that something is wrong. If her husband could fake his own death to commit insurance fraud, he might be capable of killing her friend for the same reason. A painting in her friend's house, seen in the newspaper, catches her attention. Anna then finds the gallery owner and insists on buying that painting. The owner can only help her by conducting a search and quickly finds information about her husband. When the police arrive, Anna has already disappeared. She goes to the town where her husband is and discovers that he has not only changed his name, but also opened a hotel. Once inside the hotel, she learns that a bachelor party is being held there tonight. Anna goes to a clothing store, picks out a dress, and manages to blend into the party. Finally, she comes face to face with her husband, who has trapped her. I have rarely seen a man so cowardly. He has the audacity to put himself up for auction, and the wealthy women fiercely compete for him. But suddenly, Anna makes a high bid that shocks everyone, while the man can't help but smile. But when he sees Anna, he freezes in place, because this woman is his wife. 8 years ago, she was trapped by her husband and sent to prison. Today, she has returned for revenge, fearing that she might reveal the truth. Her husband quickly takes Anna aside and explains to her that he was manipulated by his friend to fake his death, and claimed the insurance money. He never thought that Anna would end up in prison, and that his friend's death was an accident. How can Anna believe these lies? All she wants now is to find her son. and she demands that he be returned to her tomorrow at the nearby cemetery. She chooses the cemetery because it is crowded, and she doesn't want to fear that her husband will do something foolish. Finally, Anna spots her son, but as she approaches him, he suddenly moves away. Anna searches for him frantically, and eventually locates him. But in the next moment, her husband knocks her out. It turns out that the boy was an actor paid by her husband. When Anna regains consciousness, she finds herself locked inside a coffin. She tries to push the lid, but it is locked from the outside. Fortunately, she had taken the police chief's gun earlier, and shoots through the hinges, thus managing to escape. Her initial intention was only to retrieve her son, but she is now determined to make her husband pay. But the police chief suddenly appears and grabs her. It turns out he discovered her husband's fake death. Finding Anna's innocence, he came to help clear her name. Seize the opportunity. The police chief confronts her husband and reveals the scheme of his fake death. The husband quickly agrees to pay a sum of $2 million to hush up the matter. The police chief hints that Anna won't give up so easily, and the husband reveals that he has already dealt with Anna. Unbeknownst to him, the police chief recorded their conversation. As he finishes speaking, Anna appears, gun in hand. The evidence is undeniable, and the husband is left speechless. The plan causes them to momentarily lower their guard. Suddenly, the husband shoots the police chief. Then, he tries to attack Anna. At this critical moment, the police chief rushes in and tackles him to the ground. They fight, but the police chief, injured, is no match, and is quickly overpowered. The husband, thinking victory is his, is suddenly shot by Anna's gun, and his bad life comes to an end. Thanks to the proof of her self-defense, and the testimony of the police chief, Anna finally regains her freedom and inherits her husband's hotel. Finally, accompanied by the police chief, Anna goes to the school and finally sees the son she had been waiting for a long time.